Dunkey made another review about a JRPG. If you allow me to play both armchair philosopher and psychologist for a moment, identity is a very complicated thing. Human beings are multifaceted, and for as long as we've had higher cognitive function, as long as we've been able to look up in the stars and ponder, answering the question of who am I has proved difficult. How much of yourself is your perception of yourself versus other people's perception of you, and your need to play into or against that? Identity is complex and layered. There are multiple assets and faculties to it. Racial identity, cultural identity, gender identity, national identity. Hoorah, I'm an American, I like guns and freedom. Or live long and prosper, I'm a Trekkie. There's an invisible contract that is signed when you make the conscious decision to identify yourself partially by a fandom. I'm a Whovian, I'm a Trekkie, I'm BTS Army. Something about this property speaks to you in such a way, be it the message or theming being something you wish to emulate in your everyday life. But regardless, you've formed such an emotional connection that you wish to be identified by your love and passion for it. Now, if you'll allow me to get personal for a moment, when I first discovered YouTube, one of the first things I did was rewatch all of Digimon Adventure 1. Because it was there, and you could watch it. Remember watching episodes in part 1? Because YouTube videos were only allowed to be 10 minutes? Holy shit. Upon my rediscovery, I made an OC, and upon reflection on that OC, it was self-insert. It was me. I put myself in Digimon. But I did it with such a passion and vigor. I would pause the episode, go for a walk, imagine how my character responded to the situation, to the other characters around him, and it was a good time. Then Digimon Adventure 2 happens, and I remembered the characters from Adventure 1 being in Adventure 2 quite a lot, so I didn't feel the need to make a new character. But I didn't realize, or remember I guess, I didn't remember that the characters from Adventure 1 are only sparingly in Adventure 2. So my ability to shoehorn in that character became less and less as the series went on. And the loss of that character was something that affected me, to the point where my mom noticed. And I remember when we talked about it, I said, and I quote, "I feel like a part of myself had died." And then my mom told me something that stuck with me for the rest of my life. Your brain doesn't know that character isn't real. It just knows you had a connection to it. There was once a scientific study performed where subjects were asked to place their hand on a mat, and some took their hand off just because, while others took their hand off because the mat was heated. And what they found was the same synapse was fired. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a conscious and a subconscious decision. Have you ever watched a movie and there's a scene where a character's doing something that's really embarrassing and you physically cringe up and you get uncomfortable? That's your brain feeling cringe, telling you to leave. You are uncomfortable in this moment. You see, your conscious brain knows you're merely engaging with an IP. Your subconscious brain, however, only knows that you are making an emotional connection to something. So when I hear people say things like, "Oh, it's just an opinion, you shouldn't take it so personally, it shouldn't ruin your day," I think that's a little disingenuous. We've all had that moment where we're really excited about this new thing we just discovered and we want to share it with someone, maybe our parents or our friends, and then we do, and they don't like it, and it's disappointing. It doesn't feel great. And B, because of your investment of time, passion, and partial identity, when a thing is criticized, it's hard to not, in some way, feel criticized and maybe even attacked yourself. And no one likes being attacked. We get defensive when it happens. We as human beings want to be liked, and when we are told, "I do not like this part of your identity," well, that just hurts. I'd like to think it's something we can all relate to. I myself, personally, can remember looking up reviews from critics whose opinions I trust, and they didn't like a certain thing I did. It makes you question your self-worth to some extent. I'm not trying to say that something should be devoid of criticism simply because it is beloved and I like it. Far from it, in fact. I think one of the most important relations between a creator and a fan base, a fandom, is critiquing. It's how we learn how to improve and get better. Please comment and tell me how to make these videos better. I don't know anymore. And change cannot take place without an impartial and objective outside look. There's a change from Persona 2 to 3 social links, which I would argue have become the identity of the series, and that doesn't happen without some criticism. Rather, I'm just trying to explain that why, when one of the biggest video game YouTubers gives a not-so-favorable review to one of the biggest the most beloved video games of all time, yeah, it's gonna be a talking point. Credits. If I knew how to edit, there would be credits here. No edits, not a lot going on. These are just, thoughts I've had kind of in general for a while. I always wanted to share in some capacity, and now with the mild controversy, I might be able to have these thoughts trapped in my brain reach other people, and that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know, there's more to unpack with this specific situation, with this idea in general. If this gets traffic, I can talk about those things. That'd be kind of fun. Thanks for watching, gang!